We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello everyone. Since our last two lectures, we discussed standard waveform controls, and from that, we already discussed in our first lecture of standard wave control that button control and text box control. In our last lecture, we had discussed label control, hyperlink control, and file upload control. Now, in today's lecture, we will discuss checkbox control, radio button control, and image control. Our next control is the checkbox control. The checkbox control creates a checkbox that can be selected by clicking it. The checkbox control display check marks that allows the user to toggle between a true or false condition. The namespace hierarchy for the checkbox control is system.object, system.web.ui.control, system.web.ui.webcontrols.webcontrols, and system.web.ui.webcontrols.checkbox. Now we'll discuss some important properties of checkbox. First one is auto postback. This property is used to obtain or set a value showing if the checkbox state automatically posts back to the server when clicked on it. Next is check. This property is used to obtain or set a value showing if the checkbox control is checked or not. Next is input attribute. This property is used to obtain a reference to the collection of attributes for all rendered input elements of the checkbox control. Next is label attribute. This property is used to obtain a reference to the collection of attribute for all the rendered label elements of the checkbox control. Next is text. This property is used to set or obtain the text label associated with this checkbox. Next is text align. It is used to set or obtain placement of the text label associated with checkbox control, and last one is validation group. This property is used to obtain or set the group of controls for which the checkbox control will cause validation on its postback. Now next is event for this checkbox control, and that event is checked change event. This event is used to occur when the value of the check property change between various posts to the server. That value of checkbox may be true or false. It means that if value is converted from true to false, then this event is occurred. Otherwise, vice versa. We'll see an example for this checkbox is that is ASP colon checkbox ID equal to checkbox 1 and run at server. Okay, now we'll see an example to understand checkbox control. To understand the example of checkbox control, we'll take the reference of our last project only. We add a new waveform into it. We are giving the name to this waveform is checkbox example. A new waveform is added into our project. Okay, we'll add label into this and give caption to it is this is an example for checkbox control. Under this label control, we'll take another label control to give a message to user that which car you want to own. We are taking an example for car. We are giving some choice to user. Okay, for giving the choice, we'll use checkbox from here. We'll drag and drop the checkbox. We'll just change the property. We'll just give the name to this checkbox by changing the text property. For example, we are giving name, that is shift desire. We are giving some more. We are adding some more. For example, I-20. We'll give some other choices to user. For example, Maruti Zen. We'll take a list box over here. Whatever value will be selected by user will be displayed into this list box. So we'll use list box by dragging and dropping over here. Okay, we'll give the ID to this list box. For example, LP car. Okay, okay. Now I don't want to use any button on this. Whenever I select this checkbox or I check this checkbox, directly value will be bound to this control. So how it will be do? So for that we have to change the property of these three checkbox control, and this property is auto prospects. We'll change the property of this control to auto prospect property to false from 2. Okay, and we also change the id of it. For example, it is our checkbox chk and it is for desire. We'll write like this, desire. Okay, for I-20 checkbox, we'll firstly change the auto postback property from false to true. Give some name to it. For example, chk I-20. Next is we'll give the name id first, chk zen. Okay, and auto postback property will be true. Okay, so now we'll make auto postback property is true for these three checkbox control. Now if I will code on page load event, this auto postback property will be work whenever I will click on particular checkbox, then particular event for that checkbox will be occurred. For that I have to create check event for it, and that event is checked change event. Okay, so I'm creating a check change event. First of all, I have to check that that particular checkbox is selected or not. For that I'm using if statement, then I'm using the id of the checkbox, that is chk desire dot check. Okay, if it is true, okay, then we'll write like this. If it is true, then we'll pass the value of text property to list box. Okay, for that we are using id of list box, that is lb cars dot items dot add. Okay, by using this add method we can add items into the list box, and our item will be chk desire dot text. Okay, so for this, if our checkbox will not selected, then what we can do? Okay, in this case we'll do like this. We have to remove that particular value from list box. So how we can achieve this? For that we have to give the name of the checkbox, id of the checkbox, that is lbl card dot items dot remove. We have to use remove method. But if there are multiple value in to the list box, which value we have to remove. For that we have to pass some id or some name over there. That particular checkbox value will must be removed. So for that we'll do the code like that: lb cars dot items dot find by value, and we'll pass value will be like this, that is chk desired dot text. Okay, so this is how we can remove item from the list box. Okay, this is we are doing for just one checkbox. Same we have to do for remaining checkbox. So I had repeated that things. I have make this code like last one. Okay, so I'm making three different event for three different checkboxes. Now we'll just go to run it. Okay, so it will gives output like this. It is asking us which car you want to own. We just click on shift desire. The value is bind to the list box. You can check it. I am selecting i20, then I am selecting Maruti's, and all three values are over there. I'm removing the i20, so it will remove from list box. This is what the example of checkbox control. Now we'll discuss about our next control. Our next control is radio button control. Radio button control creates a single radio button. It can be grouped where only one radio button control can be selected at a time. In checkbox, we if we want to give multiple choice to user, then we are using checkbox control. But if we want to give users to choice only one among multiple choices, then we have to use radio button. For example, MCQ exams. Okay, so namespace for this radio button control is system.object, system.web.ui.control, system.web.ui.webcontrols.webcontrol, system.web.ui.webcontrols.checkbox, system.web.ui.webcontrols.radio button. One thing we have to note over here that radio button control is derived from checkbox control. We'll discuss a single property of radio button because many things is derived from checkbox, so we already discussed it. So main property we have to discuss over here is group name. It is used to obtain the name of the group to which radio button belongs. Okay, we can see an example of this radio button, that is ASP colon radio button id equals to radio button 1 run at server. Now we'll see an example for radio button control. To see the example, we'll take the we'll take the reference of our last project. We'll just add a new waveform into it, and we'll just give a name to it, that is radio button example. So new waveform is added. We'll just add label as usual and give the caption to it, that is this is an example for radio button control. Okay, now we'll take same example like checkbox control. We are asking to user that select a car from following. So we are asking him or her to ask a single car from it. Okay, now we'll add radio button from here, so it will available into toolbox over here, that is radio button. We just drag and drop it at our desired location on our web page. Okay, so I am taking three radio buttons over here. Okay, now one by one we'll change the caption of this. First one is Swift Desire next is I-20, and next is Maruti Zen. Okay, so we'll have three different radio buttons. It means we are giving three different choices to user. Now instead of taking list view, we'll take only one label because we will have only one value. We'll remove the text property of label control from here, and we'll just give the ID to it, LBL car. Okay, now whenever I will click on this radio button, the value of this radio button will be displayed over here. For that, firstly we have to change the auto postback property. So auto postback property will change from false to true. We'll do same for all radio button. Also will change the we will change the ID of all the radio button. For example, RBTN, then RBTN desire, and RBTN I-20. Okay, now we'll make the event, and that event is check change event. Okay, so check change event is created. Now if we want that whatever checkbox will be selected, we have to pass that value to label. So for that, label card dot text equals to RBTN desired dot text. Okay, then same thing we'll do for all three radio buttons. For example, LBL car dot text equals to RBTN I-20 dot text, and for Maruti Zen also LBL car dot text equals to RBTN Zen dot text. Okay, so we'll check and run how it will work. Okay, so you can check. Okay, so we'll give Swift. Okay, it gives I-20, but a problem will arise that both the radio button are selected. It means that the Swift desired value is override by I-20. So how we'll solve this problem? For that, we have to do code like this. That is, for that we have to code like that. IBTN I-20 dot checked equals to false, and RBTN RBTNZ dot checked equals to false. Same thing we have to repeat it for all. Over here, this radio button is for I-20, so we have to do for remaining radio buttons. So that is RBTN desired dot checked equals to false, and RBTN Zen dot checked equals to false. Okay, doing for last one also, that is RBTN desired dot check equals to false, and RBTN I-20 dot checked equals to false. Okay, now we'll run and check it. Okay, we'll run. Okay, it will give shift desired. Now if we select I-20, okay, the problem is solved. Last selected option is now unchecked. Okay, Maruti Zen, it will also work. Okay, this problem will solve by doing the code by using check property. We can solve this problem by using group name property also. To see that, we'll do the comment to this code. Okay, and go to the design portion, and for each uh, radio button I have to set a group name. For example, I'm giving group name to car to each and every radio button. So now this all radio buttons are fall into a same category, and it will give user to choose only one among that. Now we'll run it and check it. Okay, you can check. See if desired I20. Okay, that problem is also not with this group name property. Okay, so easiest solution to solve a radio button problem is group name. That's it from radio button control. Now we'll discuss next control. Now we will discuss our last standard control, and that is image control. Image control is a web server control that display an image on the web page. The URL of the image is set in the image URL property of the control. Namespace hierarchy for the image control is system.object, system.web.ui.control, system.web.ui.webcontrols.webcontrol, and system.web.ui.webcontrols.image. We'll discuss some important property of image control. First is alternate text. It is used to obtain or set the alternate text displayed in the image control when the image is not available. Browser that supports the tooltip feature display this text on tooltip control. Next is description URL. It is used to obtain or set the location to a detailed description for the image. Next is enabled. It is used to set or obtain the value indicating whether the control is enabled or disabled. Next is font property. It is used to obtain or set the font property for the text associated with the control. Next is generate empty alternate text. It is used to set or obtain value indicating whether the control generates an alternative text attribute for an empty string value. Next is image align. This property is used to obtain or set the alignment of the image control in relation to the other controls on the web page. And last one is image URL. This property is important, and it is used to obtain or set the URL that provides the path to an image to display in the image control. We can see an example for image control. It will be like this: ASP colon image ID equals to image1 run at equals to server. Okay, now we'll see the example of image control. To see the example of image control, we'll use a last project only. Just add a new waveform into it. We are giving name to this waveform as image control example. A web page is added. We'll add label into it as usual and write some caption on it, that like this is an example for image control. Okay, now we'll use a button. Whenever I will click on that button, image control will be displayed. So I'm putting a button, change the caption of it, and making click me to see the image. And under this button will add image control. You can add image control from toolbox. From here there will be three image related controls are there: image button and image. We have to use image over here. We just drag and drop it. Okay, and then we have to set few properties of image control. First is we have to give image URL. Okay, for that we have to add image into our project file. For that, go to Solution Explorer and on image folder, right click on it, go to add and add existing item. Then you have to select an image for it. I am selecting this sample image and add it to the folder. You can check in the image folder, a sample image is added. Okay, now go to the image control, then go to the property that is image URL. Just click on this button and select image from here. Okay, so we'll select sample from here. You can check this image is added, but the width of the image is very bigger, so we'll control it by setting the property. For example, I am giving the width property is equal to 300. I can also give the height to it. For example, height is, I'm also passing it to 200, or I'm giving it to 300. Okay, then I set the tooltip property. For example, image control example. One more property we will set, and that is visible. We'll do like this. Will currently it is true, we'll make it false. Okay, so whenever we'll run this application or waveform, this image will not display. Whenever we'll click on this button, we will do like that, that image will be displayed. So we'll do the code on this button. For that, we are creating a click event and just do image 1. So our image control ID is image 1 dot visible equals to true. So we'll do this. That's it. Now we'll run it and check it how it will work. Currently it will not give the visibility of image. We'll click on the button and it will show the image. If we'll take our mouse on this image event, it will give us a tooltip. Okay, that is image control example. That's it from image control, and that's it for standard web controls. All standard web controls we are covered over here. Thank you very much.